I'm checking my mirrors, checking the traffic behind me, and browsing forward. Now,
Zulu Express Corp Services. This right here will be part of the beginner's guide, aka the package. Let's get into this.
I'm going to signal left because I'm going to get on 94 East here to get on the highway. Now, because of this intersection, I have a green light. I have to make sure that that stale green doesn't turn yellow and red, which it did. And I stopped ahead of time to avoid a hard braking. I stopped behind the line. The crosswalk is clear. Also, I'm at a big incline now. I have to make sure my foot's on the brake and it's pressed down pretty firmly so I don't roll back into the cars behind me. As we wait for the light to turn green, I keep my hands on the wheel and I browse the intersections looking for trouble or hard traffic.
This is automatic right here, but so y'all don't know how lucky y'all is nowadays. You might as well get them CDLs. Yeah, you ain't have to take no
Sometimes when
manual.
you're at an intersection too long, you might forget to press on the brake firmly and you might have a rollback. That's a scary situation you want to avoid.
So glad he brought that up. A rollback. Boy, look at him. A rollback. Real nasty. You don't want a rollback. Load on your back. What you got in the trailer? A 45 in the trailer. Yeah, that could be really bad. Yeah, always keep your foot planted firmly on that brake.
When your vehicle rolls back because of the size, sometimes you do not notice it. The light is green, I'm checking my intersections, and I have to press on the gas right away so there is no big delay in the rollback. I'm looking left and right, my intersection is clear. I'm getting into the left
Yeah,
turning
he ain't
lane
got nothing
to
in
get
that
on the
trailer.
highway. I gotta cover my lane so no car slips in behind me and
It's
tries to
automatic
pass
when you
me
need to take off
on
that
this
fast.
single turning left lane. Vehicles around you, most of them do not know how long it takes for a truck to accelerate or stop. So you got to be cautious of them, and sometimes we can't blame them when they're impatient. The left green arrow turned on. I'm looking left and right, checking my mirrors. Now I'm going to go through the intersection safely at a wide turn, not to hit the curb, and try to get into my lane without touching the lines. Sometimes you might go over the lines because there's not enough space, but if there is space, you want to get in the line. Now we're getting on the highway. We see the highway is fast paced. We need to start accelerating a little more than usual
That's right.
so we're at a safe speed
That's right.
by the time we enter the
highway
highway.
of love. That's what I call it. The left lane. The high dollar lane.
As soon as I get into
That give it
my
back my lane.
safe zone,
Come
I
on.
will signal to the left to let people know I will merge on the highway. I'm going to browse for speed limit signs to make sure I
Yes,
follow the
sir.
speed
Boy,
adequately.
let me tell you
And the
something.
speed
Boy, that's a good feeling right there. When you coming on to the interstate, you get to sit up in your seat like that.
limit here shows 55 miles per hour. I want to try to stay in that 55 or 50 range. I don't want to go too slow, but I don't want to go too fast either.
I tell
Now
you
we're
what,
safely on the highway. My
you
lane
don't
is
want to go
ending.
too
That's why you
fast.
got to
You better
look
stay in
ahead.
that lane right
Check my
there.
mirrors. I want to get into the lane left closest to me. I signaled. The car moved out of the way. Now I'm safe to get in that lane. While I drive on the highway, I always have to look far out and keep a really big traveling distance, but also try to maintain my safe speed. I don't want to go too slow or fast. On the highway, we will be asked on the road test to make.
Yeah, this will be all a part of the beginner's guide. Talking about purpose, CDL tests, schools. I suggest anyone that's getting into the trucking industry, anyone that want to become a trucker that's curious where to start. If you do decide to want to get your CDLs, I suggest go. because it'll teach you something that'll save your life. It's a good part of this. Y'all better come get it. Why they don't sell?
One left lane change and one back to the right. This is kind of dangerous as a new fresh driver, but if you practice this enough, by the time you're experienced, it will be very easy to do and accomplish. So we're going to make the left lane, left signal, I mean. We're going to check the mirrors.
Lower that left lane, that $100 lane.
Everything looks clear. I'm going to get into my left lane.
Come on.
You don't want to do this too slow, but not too fast either. Gradually pace in and keep checking your mirrors and looking ahead. Now, once I'm in my lane and I'm driving, turn off my signal, and I'm going to signal to the right lane. I'm going to check for traffic, check my mirrors. It looks clear to me. Now I'm getting in my lane.
That's a good driver right there. Yes,
now
sir.
The speed limit has turned to 70 from 55.
That's what truck owners
and
want. All these trucking companies, they want good drivers. They don't care about nothing else. They want good drivers with good driving records. And you can go get you a job.
I'm going 65. You want to keep around 70 or 65. Not much faster or slower. So you could be a hazard if you're going too slow and have an auto fail. So if you go 10 miles or more too slow, you will have an automatic fail on your road test. Or if you go too fast, you'll have an automatic fail. Now we're on the highway. There is a vehicle pulled over on the side. I have space. I will get out of its way. I'll get in the left lane if I have to. Now I cross that vehicle. I want to get back in my right lane because I will be exiting soon. If I was driving for a long distance, then I would probably stay in the middle lane or one of the right lanes in the middle. I'm going 65 miles per hour, checking my mirrors, keeping distance from the vehicles ahead of me. As a new driver, one of the scarier parts of driving with a semi-truck is going to be the highway. But once you get used to it, it's probably the easiest thing to do because driving in the city is much harder than driving on the highway. An experienced driver knows that. Now our exit's coming up. Here is Ryan Road. We will be signaling. We're going to check our mirrors. Get into our turning lane when it's safe to do so, when there is no solid white line, and it allows us to get in that lane. Now as we approach the exit ramp, we have to look far out, make sure there's no traffic piled up so we don't have to do a hard brake.
That's right. Always look ahead.
We're checking our mirrors, keeping our vehicle in the lane.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch the
right lanes. So in a semi-truck, when you're going right on a double turn, you better stay on the lane to the rightmost. If you're making a left turn on the double turning lane, then you're gonna stay on the outer lane once again on the right lane. Check your mirrors, go wide enough to keep in your lane, which we did. And now we're gonna stay in the right lane once again. If you make a right turn, stay in your right lane. If you make a left turn, stay in your left lane. Double turning lanes, follow the lane you're in. Now as we go through city driving and intersections, we want to look left and right, check our mirrors. The light turned yellow, we still have to check our intersections no matter what, as a safe driver. And once again, every 8 to 10 seconds, we want to check our mirrors. Now there's a car stopped ahead of me. It's a red light. I don't want to get too close to him, but if I had to stop behind him, I have to see his tires. So that way, if he breaks down, I have enough room to go around him. Speed limit is 45. You want to check for signs. Local driving, if there is an overpass, bridges, you got to check the height. If you're going on top of a bridge, you got to check the weight restriction. make sure you're in the proper zone for semi-trucks or CDL vehicles. We will be turning right here on this 27th Street intersection. It's a single turning lane. I'm going to check my mirror, make sure I get in my lane properly, and no one tries to get inside my lane. Now as I stop behind this vehicle, I can see his tires. Since he went, I have to make sure I stop behind the stop line. Now I'm allowed to do a right turn at this intersection even though it's red, since there is no sign that says no turn on red or no right turn on red. As a safe driver, if you'd like, you could wait it out, but I feel that it's going to be safe for me to crawl on over. There's no pedestrians.
Man, I remember
and check if there's any incoming traffic for me to be able to make this turn.
Fun.
And it looks like I will be able to make this turn.
It was fun.
I would go wide,
like a challenge,
right lane, right turn, into the right lane.
There ain't nothing like accomplishing something that you set your mind on. You feel me? You know, ain't nothing like investing in yourself. I believe everybody, majority of people will agree with me on that. Yeah, let's get back into this. Get good.
Go wide enough so you could keep in your lane properly. Check your mirrors to make sure your vehicle's in your lane, not over the lines, especially your trailer. And now you're going to accelerate to the proper safe speed of 45, no more than that. Let's say 40, 45 is a safe speed. I always stay about 5 miles under or at the maximum of the speed limit. As I drive, keep both hands on my wheel. Check for traffic every 8 to 10 seconds, and always look ahead and keep distance. There is cars coming out. You have to watch out so they don't jump on you, drive ahead of you or in front of you. There's cars on your sides. You got to be cautious to make sure that you don't get on top of them if you switch lanes. Check your mirrors, check for traffic. 2 hands on the wheel, keep your distance. I'm going 45 on the 45. I'm going to slow down a little as I'm getting closer to the traffic in front of me. I'm checking my mirrors. Everything looks safe on my trailer. Cars are keeping distance behind me. If a car is tailgating you, the only thing you can do is keep your speed limit or slow down a little. Do not slam your brakes. If you're going slow enough, but at a proper safe speed, he or she will go around you. Check the intersection. Check my mirrors. There's a pedestrian walking. I cannot move over to the left lane because the car was next to me. But I noticed a pedestrian and I kept at a safe distance. If there's a pedestrian walking on the road and you see them way ahead of time, try to get in the lane away from them, example to the left lane, and once you pass that pedestrian, try to get back to your right lane safely. Always know what's around you while you're driving. Always look ahead and keep your distance. Always check your speed limit signs. Your examiner during the test will ask you about some of the signs you pass. Sometimes it's a overpass, a bridge, a weight restriction. They might ask you about the speed limit. We don't know. Depends on the examiner and the route. As we approach, we're approaching Drexel Avenue. This is a turn I want to make. I'm going to make a right turn. I'm looking ahead, slowing down gradually, checking my mirrors, both hands on the wheel.
Always check
at a proper
mirrors.
safe zone, about 50 to 100 feet from the intersection, I will signal to the right and get in my lane. I'm going to check my mirrors, make sure I'm properly in my lane, both hands on the wheel, brake ahead of time. This is a yield sign, but I feel I would rather stop to be safe. So I'm going to stop behind the crosswalk, and I'm going to gradually make the turn. As I feel safe, it's safe to go through. I'm going as wide as I can. It's a tight turn, not to hit the curb.
Oh yeah, that's definitely tight. That's how we like it though, man. We like it nice.
I made a right turn into the right lane closest to me. I cannot make a right turn into the left lane, just in case a car tries to cross over or make a turn in front of me. So if you're turning right on a single turning lane, turn into the right lane closest to you. If you're turning left on a single turning lane, go to the left lane closest to you. But you have to make really wide turns to make sure your truck does not go over the curb, hit a pole, object, or any vehicle next to you. Both hands are on the...
Yeah, man. Bounce out this thing. You feel me? Zulu Express Corp Services. You feel me? And this will be a part of the Beginner's Guide, aka the Civil Package. Peace, love.